bit out of wind up here in a minute, but I want Trey and Peyton to come up here, and then I'll show you some compound. So this is the two types of pitchers that we really talked about, and some people are steadfast with it. Peyton is he's a more of a stand tall till you fall guy, all right, which means he uses his length in his body, and he doesn't necessarily drop his back leg. So if he just goes into his motion, what I'll talk about, he always go ahead. He's not dropping this, bending his back leg, okay? He's not bending his back leg like this, okay? He's just up here, he's tall, and he's using his length in his body, go ahead, to go down and deliver his pitch. That's a stand tall until you fall guy, okay? And some coaches are steadfast and everything. No matter if the guy's like 4'2", and he just got done playing with like Grumpy and the Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs, he still thinks he should be a stand tall guy. Not me. I think we should use what we have for our body, right? So here it is once again. Same mechanics and everything. It's just he stand tall and he fall. But when we go to fall, everything goes which way? Downhill, right? And that's where we'll bring in Trey. He is more of a drop and drive guy. And he'll lift and see he kind of bends his back leg a little bit, okay? And with the problem with drop and drive guys are what? Where's the shoulders already? Right. And so it's tougher for them to get downhill, all right? So you can do it any way, all right? But when he goes downhill, he has to get this front shoulder going down right away, all right? Does that make sense? Okay, here we go. And I'm going to let you guys go through wind up in a minute. But here's the thing with pitching. This is what I show you. John, you can get up there. You guys want to be up front because I want you to make sure you see some things. This side or up front would be best. This right here will cause you all the time, 90% of the time if I go and talk to a mound or we're doing a bullpen session, it's because you're not getting the ball out of your glove quick enough, all right? 90% of the time, it's because you're not getting your ball out of glove quick enough, right? And this is some common things that I see, all right? The common things I see is we'll call it leaner, right? I get to here, and these guys are already doing what? Going forward. Does that make sense? That's why we go to the balance position. And actually from here, this left hip should lead, and my toe should go out. This is where we should be, all right? A lot of guys want to go here, and my arm has to, once again, catch up to my body, all right? The other thing is, too, very firm is you're not going to get power, is a swinging gait, all right? We come here, and this is what, that's not what we're supposed to do, right? If we do this, I'm landing on my heel, I'm not getting any power, and my arm's going to be behind my body. So don't swing the gait, all right? So my two things are, usually what's going to happen is you're going to get the ball out of your glove quick enough, all right? Or your top half is going before your bottom half, or your bottom half is going before your top half. And it's my bottom half is going before my top half, look where I'm at. Everything's back here, right? If my top half is going before my bottom half, I'm off balance, right? The only time I break the nail, nail's still there, is right here, the nail's broke. Now I'm delivering a strike. All right, now he's in bat throwing position, all right? All right, Peyton, here you go. Peyton will show you a little bit on windup. Once again, he's the right-hand side of rubber. Now, Peyton's been through a lot with his delivery. He used to take hands over his head. It's like I said, I don't care what you do, man, so as long as you're comfortable with it. I was just watching the playoffs last night, the World Series, and I was talking to somebody in the dugout, can't remember who it was, but he said his hands are now in tune with his body, okay? And that's really what pitching is. My hands need to be in tune with my body. I don't care, just go ahead. If you throw your hands over your head, doesn't matter to me. Go ahead and throw his hands over his head. Just as long as we can get to this position, and just as long as we can get to this position, all right? I don't care if you just leave your hands here. I don't care if you bring your hands to your face. I don't care what you do. Peyton will show you them all. He leaves his hands pretty much down to his belly and up, all right? Some guys leave them square. Go ahead. See, some guys leave them right, pull them right to their chest, all right? Doesn't matter to me. So that's a little bit on hands. Does not matter. When we're talking about wind-up, though, this is where everything goes awry. Because stretch is easy, man. It's simple. Balance position, foot down, throw the ball. The common myth and wrong thing is that people think the bigger I step back, or the longer I step back, the harder I'm going to throw the ball. It's false, okay? We teach actually small steps. Peyton almost steps in the same spot. Right. Because did he bend his nail? 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 No. All right, go ahead and take a big step. Nail's bent and you're not knowing where it's going. Does this work for some people? Yes. Fernando Valenzuela, does anybody know where he is? Oh man, I'm showing my
I do.
I know who he is.
This is like 40 and older or something, right? Okay, so short step back, go ahead, to the side, and get your lift. Okay, some people like stepping behind the rubber. It's cool, just take a small step back. Did you bend his nail? No, right? Some people like taking to the side a little bit more. That's fine, just don't bend your nail. And it keeps with as far as your hands, I'm not ever gonna tell you what to do with your hands. The only thing I'm gonna say is sometimes what happens is we don't get the ball, the glove quick enough to get to the throwing position, all right? So go ahead, this is a nice, he has a nice motion. He has a nice, boom. Now, if like in a gambling, because I do like to gamble a bit, I mean, this is going to be tougher than throwing from the stretch, right? So I have to make sure my mechanics are always on target, okay? Go ahead. What's John will need to know, but on you throw, then the next day you do what? Run. Then the next day you play long toss, start playing catch, and then the third day you throw a bullpen. And then depending on where we're at, the fifth day you rest, and the fifth day you throw. That's the rotation of what a starting pitcher does. Throw, run, play long toss, play catch if your arm's good enough, and then the next day you bullpen. All right? I was going to say something else here. I can't remember what it was. All right, heck with it. That's good enough. All right, so let's get into